Yeah, we're pumped, you know? Yeah, we're pumped, bro. Excited. But I'm kind of getting the rush now. I just want to go on stage and do what I do and hopefully kick on after that. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. But yeah.
Mercy! Always rep the town when nobody did it. Hands up when we about to get it. So we get that quill.
This is the crazy true story of the come-up of one of the faces behind the forefront of hip-hop in Australia. This is the story of Melbourne. I hope you enjoyed. Melbourne grew up in Cranbourne, South Melbourne, but was born in Samoa. He moved over here when he was just 2 years old. He's very proud to be from Melbourne, hence his rapper name. Both his parents were very hard workers and he credits them a lot in becoming the man he is today. He grew up on a lot of American hip-hop, but he also listened to Savage and Scribe from New Zealand. He didn't listen to a lot of Australian hip-hop, but credits acts like 360, Cursor, Hilltop Hoods and Bliss and Esso for paving the way. He also had a passion for R&B and singing acts like Nelly, Ja Rule and Bow Wow, but he soon fell in love with lyricism in hip-hop. This would soon reflect in his own music. He's always just loved music as a whole. While a lot of Polynesian friends and family would love singing at church, he was always into rapping and felt like he was special in a way.
I was a poly, but I was like the outcast poly.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers. Like after that, I used to be in like a dance crew. Like so like we're doing things that we just found interesting and weren't afraid to do, and things that weren't the usual to every other poly family.
Back then, he would start uploading songs to Facebook and SoundCloud and rapped in a more American accent, not like the Melbourne we all know today. He dropped tracks like Break My Heart and The Warm Up, which are still on SoundCloud and done good numbers. Most of his SoundCloud tracks are sitting on about 50,000 views, which is pretty good, but it was nothing like he would have hoped for. He had bigger dreams in mind. He would be releasing all his music under his self-proclaimed label, Brotherhood. He decided to make a diss track and give an open invite to any Australian and New Zealand rappers to come at him. This definitely ignited the scene and had a lot of rappers putting pen to paper once they heard the diss track. After this diss, Melbourne's career would be changed forever. The diss definitely ignited the scene and had a lot of rappers putting pen to paper once they heard what Melbourne had to say. He got some decent responses from acts like Lazy J, CG Fez and Little Jace, but it definitely helped his music and put more eyes on him at the time. He started getting more plays on his tracks, but it also started to bring him a lot of negative attention he wasn't really ready for, and some of the beefs got serious. So he took a well-needed break from music to reevaluate if it was all worth it. He did this by dropping a track called Outro Freestyle before going on a small hiatus. The track was him letting out a lot of frustration towards all the negativity the music industry had brought him. Although, while he was on hiatus, a small video started to circulate around the internet of Melbourne being bashed and his face very swollen. And a lot of fans started to speculate that it was the HP boys behind this. Because at the time, both Melbourne and HP boys were both trading disses back and forth via Instagram. The HP boys would put the video on their story, but Melbourne chose to stay quiet about the situation for the time being.
And then HP, those are I don't get along with that.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll probably go into that a little bit. So you're obviously from the southeast. You're from the southeast.
Yeah, we're all from the southeast.
You'd sort of hope that everyone gets along, but unfortunately that's not the case.
Real unfortunate, yeah.
And there's that whole thing I wanted to ask about was there's a general consensus that they sort of jumped in. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube and that. Like, is it true? Like, what's the story behind that?
So the story, I'm pretty sure everyone wants to know because I haven't really opened my mouth about it. I've been real quiet. So the story behind that is, no, it wasn't HP. It was some boys that I knew. They were my boys. Yeah. When the incident happened, I don't want to get into that. I want to get more into this HP beef, but yeah, it wasn't them. That's why I saw they had a DME from Sydney came through and done an interview with them. They didn't want to talk about it because they knew that it wasn't them. They didn't want to say it wasn't them, but they knew that they didn't do that to me. Yeah. And they're not. The thing I hate is they're not telling everyone that it wasn't them.
Why Rumours also started to spread that Melbourne was currently serving time in prison and it looked like his career was at a real crossroads. The rumours turned out to be true, because around July 2020, Melbourne was released on bail and dropped his track, Bars from Prison, and briefly let everyone know what was going on.
This is when I stopped music, you know what I mean? So like, I did the outro, I stopped music, I handled business for a bit, and then I thought, you know what, fuck, I saw where my life was going, and I was like, bro, the old me would never have been like this. Let's get back to the old me. So that's where I'm at right now.
So Outro was your last track of like frustration in the music?
Yeah.
Because music wasn't bringing nothing but hate?
Yeah.
So you went back to a life that you thought was, you know?
Yeah, let's just say like I took that frustration out different ways outside of music, and then that did the time. I got bailed out. I'm suffering. That's what it is. It's suffering, bro. Because at the end of the day, no one wants to be in there. Everyone wants to win out.
He now had fans hoping he was back for good, but had everyone waiting for his next banger to certify his return. He then dropped a club banger track out of nowhere with Joel Fletcher titled Pablo, and now has 5 million views on Spotify, which was a great move in his career. He said he went to school with Joel Fletcher and he was best mates until they finished school and parted ways, so it was a spin out to see how far Joel had come. But it was his track, This and That really let us diehard fans and everyone else in the scene know that Melbourne was officially back and he wasn't going anywhere. I think his small hiatus from music ended up being the best thing for him, despite all the rumours that got spread about him. He then dropped tracks like Side Bitch and Proper and Score, and the numbers and feedback on his new approach were all positive. He's now found his very own unique style and approach to music, which I think fits him very well. He dropped a track titled Drink with Filler, and also managed to play a headline tour across Australia and New Zealand, selling out most of the venues. Then recently, in 2022, Melbourne got us all in our feels and dropped this track Proper, which was received very well by fans. With all the rumours and Melbourne's name dragged through the mud, I admire how he managed to get his fans back on his side and also reach out to a bigger audience than he previously had before his brief stint away from music. Then, after all the rumours going around about the reason a video of him surfaced being badly beaten, Melbourne decided to drop a 10-minute mini-movie explaining everything that happened. In my eye, I think this is a masterstroke and exactly the right move by Melbourne, turning a negative into a positive. And I believe it's going to be the reason he will have such a long, healthy career because he's willing to think outside the box. Melbourne has been making music for nearly over a decade and has managed to build a solid fan base and push himself musically and not get complacent. He's one of the few rappers taking the Australian hip-hop sound to new places, and when his career looked all but over, he managed to not only come out the other side, but establish himself as one of the best artists in the game right now, and that's something we can all admire. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like, subscribe, comment and share. It all helps. Thanks for watching.
Continue. I want to thank every one of you motherfuckers for coming out to this show. One time, make some fucking noise. To be here and perform my own show sold out with you motherfuckers is a dream come true. And it's only because of yous that I get to live this shit. So thank you.